I found the house my fiancé bought. Then I realized he used my down payment for another woman. For 5 years, I saved for our first home. Not casually. I skipped vacations, drove a car with one working speaker, and picked up weekend shifts while my fiancé, Adam, told everyone I was the responsible one. He said he loved that about me. He said I made our future feel safe. The plan was simple. I would save the down payment. He would build his credit back up after some old debt. Then after the wedding, we would buy a small house together and start over as a married couple. By spring, I had $48,000 in the account. Adam asked if we could move the money to his credit union because they had a better mortgage program. I hesitated. He looked hurt. He said, "If you do not trust me with our future, why are we getting married?" So I transferred it. 3 weeks later, he started acting strange. Late nights, private calls, a sudden obsession with helping his cousin move. Every time I asked about the mortgage application, he said the lender needed one more document. Then I saw the welcome mat. I was driving home from work when I passed a little blue house with a sold sign in the yard. On the porch was a mat that said, Adam and Lacey. My fiancé's name is Adam. My name is not Lacey. At first I told myself there had to be another Adam. Then his truck pulled into the driveway. He got out carrying paint samples. A woman ran out of the house, kissed him, and pointed at the porch like she was showing him where their Christmas tree would go. I parked around the corner and sat there so still that my phone locked 3 times in my hand. That night, Adam came home and said the lender was still reviewing our paperwork. I asked if his cousin liked the move. He said, "Exhausting, but done." I said, "What is Lacey's favorite room?" His face changed. Not guilty first, angry first. He said I was stalking him. I said, "No, I was commuting." He claimed Lacey was his cousin's girlfriend, then his cousin's realtor, then someone who was temporarily staying there. Every version got worse. So I asked for the mortgage documents. He refused. That was my answer. The next morning, I went to the county recorder's office before work. I searched the address. The deed listed Adam and Lacey as joint owners. The purchase date was 4 days after my transfer. The down payment amount was almost exactly $48,000. I remember staring at that public record and feeling something inside me get very quiet. Not sad. Quiet. Like my heart had moved away from the fire so my brain could work. I printed everything. Then I found Lacey online. She was a local real estate photographer. Her page had a post captioned, "Some girls get rings, I got keys." There were pictures of the kitchen I had been pinning for years, the fireplace I wanted, and Adam holding champagne beside a stack of moving boxes. The worst part were the comments. His sister wrote, "Finally, the right woman gets the right house." His mother wrote, "So happy this is staying in the family." Staying in the family. They knew. I called my bank, I called a lawyer, then I called Lacey. She answered like she knew exactly who I was. Before I could finish my name, she said, "Adam told you you two were financially separated." I said, "Did he tell you the down payment came from my account?" Silence. Then she said, very softly, "He said it was his inheritance."
We met in a coffee shop that afternoon. She came defensive, wearing the engagement ring Adam told me he had lost the receipt for. I put the bank transfer, the deed, and screenshots of my savings account on the table. Her face drained. Then she showed me her side. Adam told her I was his unstable ex who refused to move out. He told her he bought the house to escape me. He told her we were not engaged anymore, even though my wedding dress was hanging in our closet. Lacey started crying, but then she got angry in a way I respected. She opened her laptop and showed me the open house invitation. Adam and Lacey were hosting a housewarming that Saturday. His family would be there. Her family would be there. My name, my money, and my entire future would be hidden under charcuterie and fake smiles. I said, "Then let us bring a housewarming gift." Saturday came. Adam thought I was working. I wore the blue dress I bought for our rehearsal dinner and carried a folder tied with a red bow. When I walked into that house, his mother saw me first. Her smile fell so fast it looked painful. He turned around near the kitchen island. He was holding a glass of champagne. Lacey was beside him, pale but steady. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Touring my investment." The room went silent. I handed Lacey the folder, but I faced Adam's family. Inside were copies of my bank transfer, the deed, the timeline, and the messages where Adam pressured me to move the money because love meant trust. His sister laughed nervously and said, "This feels private." I said, "So did my savings account." Then came the peak. Lacey's father, who happened to be a retired fraud investigator, took the documents from her hands and asked Adam one question. "Did you represent this money as yours on a mortgage application?" Adam said nothing. The silence was worse than a confession. His mother tried to step in and said, "Families help each other." Lacey turned to her and said, "Then your family can help him pay her back." That was the moment the whole party shifted. Lacey's relatives moved to one side of the room. Adam's relatives moved to the other. I stood in the kitchen I had unknowingly bought and watched every lie lose oxygen. Then his mother made it worse. She said, in front of everyone, "You were not using the money anyway. You two were taking too long." I looked at her and asked, "So you knew it was mine?" The room froze again, but this time Adam did not look at me. He looked at his mother because she had just opened the door he spent months locking. Lacey's father asked her to repeat herself. She tried to backtrack, saying she meant emotionally it was mine because I cared so much about buying a house. But Adam's sister, the one who commented about the right woman getting the right house, started crying and said she told them not to do this at the housewarming. She said Adam promised he would pay me back before the wedding and that I would never find out because he was going to convince me to postpone buying until after things settled. Things settled meant after he married Lacey. That was the part nobody expected. Adam had not just bought a house behind my back. He had been planning to keep me as a financial backup until the wedding deposits, honeymoon credits, and family gifts cleared. Then he was going to say he had cold feet and disappear into the blue house with my down payment already inside the walls. I opened the second pocket of the folder and pulled out one more paper. It was our venue contract, paid with my card, and the guest list where his mother had quietly removed 3 people from my side and added Lacey's cousin under a fake last name. Even Lacey whispered, "What?" I said, apparently she was not just getting my house, she was getting my wedding seats too. That was when Lacey took off the ring. My lawyer sent a demand letter Monday morning. Lacey, to her credit, gave a sworn statement and paused the house transfer until the financial issue was resolved. Adam tried to claim I gifted him the money. Then my lawyer produced the text where he wrote, "This is still your down payment. I just need to hold it for the lender." He had forgotten that sentence. I had not. The final twist came 2 weeks later. The lender investigated and found Adam had listed me as a future spouse on one document and Lacey as his domestic partner on another. The mortgage company froze the file. The sale did not fully collapse, but Adam's name did. He had to refinance, repay my funds, and sell the truck he loved more than accountability. Lacey did not stay with him. She sent me a photo months later of the welcome mat in a dumpster. As for me, I got my money back with legal fees. I canceled the wedding. I kept the dress because I looked incredible in it, and I wore it to a divorce party even though I never got married. Adam texted once, "You ruined my chance at a home." I replied, "No, I repossessed my future." I saved for our first house. He bought it for another woman. So I brought the receipts to the housewarming and made sure everyone knew who really paid for the welcome mat.